What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about the new details about Raid Episode 4, another gameplay trailer, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also as a reminder, from now until this Friday, July 14th, code Dynamite has been boosted to save you up to 15% off any order over at Apex Gaming PCs. For those out there looking to save hundreds of dollars on their first ever custom gaming PC, you could do so from now until Friday. We also got some pre-built options over on the site, which you can also fully customize, the nuclear, bombshell, and even detonated options, all of which are fully capable of running COD 2.0 and other games that you guys want, and to really help you get into the world of content creation as well. You can also finance your build for as little as $67 a month and have it shipped in under 48 hours. Also, thank you for all the support on our recent coverage over on Detonated's Twitter. Got a bunch of tweets going up over about Season 4 Reloaded, other big announcements, and of course plenty of articles also going up over on the website. All that is linked down below in this video's description. Earlier today, I also posted another video talking about what is the breaking news in regards to the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The deal is indeed going through now, and I had a lot to say about how it could affect Call of Duty over in that video. Once again, linked down below in this video's description. But something that kind of got swept under the radar a little bit is a short gameplay trailer we got for Season 4 Reloaded's multiplayer update. Obviously, the roadmap, the blog post, the other announcements that have come out kind of buried that information or the gameplay that you may have actually missed. We have a nice new preview of the Vandal Waterfront, a brand new 6v6 map coming on July the 12th. Again, multiplayer is only getting one new map with the mid-season 4 update, but don't worry, because in just a couple of weeks' time, on August the 2nd, that is when we're supposed to be seeing the 5th season begin for all of COD 2.0. But as they wrote over in the blog post, just like Hunstenar District, Vandal Waterfront is an area of the larger Warzone Vandal map that, as a part of Season 4 Reloaded, will be available for multiplayer experiences. However, unlike in the larger Vandal map, there are a number of changes to this area of town made specifically to optimize 6v6 MP. Operators cannot swim underneath the houseboats and need to keep action mostly on land, that is, the pontoon homes on the water and the decks connecting the district together. Additionally, several of the buildings are boarded up, and two of the available 4 traversable buildings have new coats of paint, red and blue, that mark the most prominent positions on the map itself. While using the water for stealth maneuvers is an effective strategy, think about employing the Ghost Perk, Dead Silence, counter UAVs, suppressors, and other tools to maintain a low profile. Otherwise, prepare for constant action in and around the abandoned dwellings that can act as great cover. They've also went ahead and dropped a brand new map guide for Vandal Waterfront, and as you guys may not be aware of, every time a new multiplayer map is set to release inside of a new Call of Duty title, whether it's MW2, whether it was Vanguard, games before that, they end up dropping these map intel blog posts featuring tons and tons of new images for whatever that map is, and a bunch of in-depth information about how to play certain objective points in that environment. And I never really see too much discussion about these map intel guys. I don't really tweet about them either, but for those out there that want another look at this map, you can check out that map intel guide down below in this video's description. I also provided you guys with what is essentially our first look gameplay-wise of this area of Vandal. You can preview the Vandal Waterfront anytime you want over in the floating district when you play matches of Resurgence or even DMZ. So I also have that video that I made down below in this video's description. Again, it's not going to be an exact one-to-one to the multiplayer version, but it's close enough to give you a hint as to what kind of gameplay you could expect. But like I also mentioned in previous videos, I'm totally okay with them ripping portions of Battle Royale maps and putting them in multiplayer, so long as those maps are released at appropriate or relevant times. It makes sense that Vandal just came out in Season 4, and we're also getting some maps that are pulled from that environment and put into other game modes during the same season. Not a situation where a Battle Royale map comes out, let's say 1 month, and then 6 months later, you're still seeing portions pulled from that map and put into other modes. Let's not have that, but I do understand it because of, you know, restrictions and time constraints and other issues behind the scenes. Sometimes that is just the way it is when it comes to them pulling portions out of a BR map, putting it into other game modes. But I think so far with Vandal, they've handled this pretty well. But speaking of the premium or paid version of COD 2.0, which is currently MW2, we also have the 4th and final episode of Raids releasing with Season 4 Reloaded as of tomorrow. Once again, I'll be live here on the channel with a full walkthrough of the patch notes, the final raid, other content that gets added in, and lots and lots of videos also going up in between that. Also a lot of shorts that I have planned covering specific and little individual parts of our mid-Season 4 update. But here's the information we got in our recent blog post about our 4th and final raid. So there are major spoilers for the first 3 raid missions, so if you guys don't want any story spoilers for those that haven't beat those other episodes, then click off this timestamp and skip to a different one if you guys so please. But as they went ahead and wrote, 48 hours ago, goat herders in the Satik Mountains discovered an entrance to what appears to be an abandoned bunker dug in the hillside. Closer inspection determined the hatchway was an inlet to what could be a fortified Soviet-era fallout shelter or something more. Kate Laswell did say that here in the MW2 post-launch story. Alcatala controls an underground bunker containing missiles. Price, Gaz, and Farah discovered this as they search for missing Task Force 141 members on the Urzikstan border. Alex is one of those missing members. He is mostly off the grid after his heroic acts during Modern Warfare 2019. The three TF-141 operators navigate through flooded tunnels and ultimately end up in the base of a missile silo. They ascend the silo and at the top realize the following. The good news is Alex, a man of steel, Pergaz, is here. Not only that, but the missile is still here too. The only problem is that its payload isn't. It was just smuggled out of the facility by Farah's brother, AQ asset Hadir. Gaz leaves to establish comms with Laswell while Alex and the remaining crew push deeper into the base until they are ultimately captured by Hadir, flanked by two elite AQ soldiers and sent to individual jail cells. Adam Grad will conclude in Season 4 Reloaded with an intense raid experience for a squad of 3 operators. Whether that's you and 2 friendlies or 2 mercenaries from the Call of Duty community using the in-game looking for party feature, it is mission critical that you finish what you started here. And lastly, as they put here an exact quote, be careful who you trust, Sergeant. People you know can hurt you the most. That is a ghost quote here inside of MW2 as well. Now, aside from that story recap, as I mentioned in a previous raid focus video, I think it's fine that they scrapped the 5th episode if they went ahead and turned whatever was going to happen in that episode into, let's say, a campaign mission for MW3 featuring the same characters, or if they just combined what was going to happen in episodes 4 and 5 to ensure a nice banging finale to the entire game mode and to this part of the post-launch narrative. They could, of course, still continue some parts of this post-launch story of the raids through DMZ and the Warzone cutscenes, which we're still gonna end up getting in Season 5, possibly even in Season 6, but let's see what happens in this 4th episode, of course. I think it's been great to get what is essentially co-op campaign DLC to the MW2 narrative, and I'm also a fan of how there's been multiple post-launch narratives, which are probably all gonna connect by the end of Season 4, hopefully early Season 5. We've had different narratives going on across DMZ, raids, and even Warzone. I'm sure all of them are gonna be combined to either set up the next Modern Warfare game or something else entirely, which you don't know too much about just yet. But there's some big teasers from this blog post, which I want to go over real quickly. First off, when they mentioned to be careful who you trust, because people who know you can hurt you the most, that could be a teaser that one of our allies ends up betraying us. I've seen theories about Gaz doing so. I've seen theories about how Laswell may do so. It's unclear who will end up betraying us, if anyone at all. This could have just been thrown in there to kind of throw us off and to really keep us thinking about where the story could go next. But it could even be a situation where we do end up trusting Hadir for whatever reason, and he still ends up backstabbing us by the end of the episode, setting up some major plot line where he plays a larger role either in the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, the post-launch narrative of that game, or something else entirely that kind of bridges into DMZ and Warzone, which also kind of has its own narrative going on here in the post-launch MW2 story. But the part about how we're going to be in jail cells, right, because we got sent there by Alcatala, that's a cool way to kind of start off the 4th raid, us being in cells and kind of breaking out and using teamwork communication to break out of a little jail cell or entire prison, and then going from there to complete our other objectives, kind of giving me vibes of the Blood of the Dead Easter egg, right? We do get locked in cells towards the end of that quest. Really excited to see what ends up happening here in episode 4, but like I said, if they combine what was going to happen in episodes 4 and 5 into just one episode, it's going to be an absolutely banging finale to this brand new type of mode that we got here in MW2. We also got teasers over on Twitter from Infinity Ward and even Chad Michael Collins himself, who is the actor behind Alex inside of the Modern Warfare reboot, and they're teasing that it's going to be a pretty eventful and exciting finale to raids. I'm really excited about that. Hopefully we even get a longer cutscene at the end of the episode to again set up something else that's going on in the post-launch for a different mode or for the next game entirely. Fingers still crossed that we get like a big cliffhanger and then they say on screen, tune into the MW3 in-game reveal event from Warzone on August 1st or whatever. That would be an awesome way to kind of set up the new live event for the next Call of Duty title. Really excited about that overall. But as I also covered in a previous video, 2 new unlockable camos are going to be available in this 4th raid episode. One of them you get by beating it on Veteran. Again, you can't beat it on Veteran until you get at least one regular completion of the raid. The other camo is going to be unlockable like the Merc one we saw in Season 3 Reloaded by doing an actual quest in the episode itself, which won't be for the faint of heart. And again, the Easter egg camo isn't even animated, but the one you get on Veteran actually is. So I'll be covering both of those camo unlocks in a separate video coming out tomorrow. Really excited about that one. And again, it just boosts replayability for a raid when there's not only a good 6 to 7 randomized rewards you can get by beating it 6-7 times, but also an actual universal camo you can unlock by doing it on a certain difficulty or by doing a certain hidden Easter egg inside of the episode itself. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on our additional details about Raid Episode 4, kind of the story implications and some of the other secrets you may discover? What are your thoughts on our gameplay preview of the new Vonda Waterfront map? As a reminder, I'll be live tomorrow morning with a breakdown and live review of the patch notes, the launch of the midseason itself. Probably have a different video also going up early in the AM talking more about what to expect in Warzone and DMZ with our July 12th update. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.